Into this video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all the biggest investing opportunity for the next few months and why all of you should keep it in your radar. We're also going to be addressing the overall market because we got some inflation report that are going to be put out tomorrow morning. Alright, y'all. Let's dive into the charts. Right off the bat, we got the NASDAQ futures. And today the market gave us a doji, which is fine. Alright. We got buyers. The buyers and the sellers really couldn't make up their mind. We opened and closed around the same price. Right now, the futures are a little bit positive. And I'm not calling the bottom just yet. I think that will be determined by tomorrow's inflation report. If the inflation report it turns out to be cooler than expected, then the market is gonna like it. If it turns out to be above 3%, then the market might have a problem with that. Let's look at the expectation. Again, this is the how the inflation report has been. From 2.6 has been rising from October all the way out to January. February, personally, I think that is going to come out cooler than expected because some of the price of the goods have come down significantly in the past few weeks. And I think that may reflect in the data for February. And I do think that it's going to come out below 2.9%. I think it's going to come out at like 2.8. And then the trend of the overall market is going to shift to the bullish side, which would make this price right here on the NASDAQ the bottom. All right. Again, I've been telling you before, the bottom is really near. Yes, everything has been demolished, but when a market is at cheap prices like this, it doesn't stay that low for too long. All right. So again, treat things day by day and watch these stocks for a potential rebound. Now let's look at the VIX, because the VIX hit its first target, which is 30, anywhere between 28 and 30 bucks. That's what I told you guys. All right. And when I look at it now, again, that new ascending triangle that showed up near the top, like it didn't quite push above 30. It tried to get above it twice. And then in the afternoon, got slammed right back down to this level of support. If tomorrow's inflation report is good for the market, this thing is gonna open up a lot lower. And if this opens up a lot lower below this line, then this structure is done, and you can expect a massive fade down to like 20. All right. Therefore, and which ultimately means that you should expect a massive push with the indices like the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, and the Russell. Now, the biggest investment opportunity of 2025 is Tesla. All right. Now, I want to share Tesla with y'all for two reasons. Number one, we gotta look at the daily. This is why Tesla is such a big opportunity and could make a lot of people a lot of money. All right. It's been dropping from the highs of 489. It's down 56% in a very short amount of time, 88 days. All right. If you look on the left side, we got the first gap that got filled last week. And then we got the second gap at the bottom that got filled this week. All right. And the combination of these two candles is a bullish harami. The combination of these two. And typically what happens after a bullish harami is a candle that looks like this. Right now, after hours, it's at 235. So a candle that looks like that is expected. So watch Tesla for a bounce, for a move up to 260 tomorrow. All right. And obviously, for the next few months, I think it's going to go a lot higher. How high is it going to go? I'm going to keep you guys updated as we move along in the next few days. But I do think that at this level, this is where we bounce. And the volume is also significantly high to 174 million. Yesterday's volume was 189. Tomorrow, again, if we see more volume and we see more bullish action, then we should see volume going over 200 million in shares traded and a big push up towards the 250 or the 260. All right, that's my analysis of Tesla and why you should be keeping it in your watch list. Now let's answer some of you guys' questions. Somebody asked me to look at Lilly. All right, and with Lilly has its moments. The reason why, like, I scarcely trade it is because of the spread in the contracts. It's not quite easy to get in and out. Like, the spread is kind of big. All right. It's not like your large cap stock like the Tesla, your NVDA, where it's easy to get in and out, and the spread is only like $2 to $5 to $10. All right, this one, the spread is pretty chunky. Okay, and a lot of the time the candles are kind of small, and they rarely get big during these opportunities right here when it's time to make really big move, either up or to the downside. Where is it going to go now? It is at a critical level, it dropped below a level of support right here. And again, if the market turns bullish, we could see a little bounce all the way back up to 860. Let's look at it on the weekly time frame and let's see. Yeah, on the weekly time frame, I think, like, I've seen scenarios where, like, the candle looks exactly like this, the scenario looks like this, and then next week the next candle looks like this, and then we continue our uptrend. I've seen many of these setups right here where we don't continue down, where we just stay right here around these prices, like 850. We close the week, and then next week we immediately continue higher and trade like this until earnings report. So that's my analysis on Lilly. I don't think that it's going to do much at this point. I really don't think so. So if you've been shorting it, again, don't get too greedy. You don't want to be super short. You don't want to be bearish at these levels, especially with the inflation report coming out tomorrow. So the next stock that we're going to look at, this one is the bank sector. Now, these are my thoughts on Wells Fargo and the overall bank sector. It flushed because of a bearish pennant that broke down 3 days ago. This is the 7th. It broke down, and then over the weekend we dropped again on Monday. Today it tried to make a little bit of a push up. The one thing that really worries me about the banks, at least half of the banks, is it started filling the gap on the left, but not completely. Like, some banks filled it completely, but this one hasn't, right? So maybe a dead cat bounce in the next few days before it tries to make another retest down to 64. That right there is my first thoughts on it. The same thing applies to Citi. Citi had a massive fall, all right, and it's just got in the middle of this gap right here on the left, and it's not quite done yet. It has room down to 63. It's just the how and the when is the gap going to fill, right? Like, it could fill within the next few weeks, or it could actually bounce with the overall market until the next earnings, and then earnings is gonna smack it right back down just to take care of that gap, right? So there's multiple ways that this scenario could play out. If you look at another bank like Goldman Sachs, for example, this one took care of business. Like, this one already did its thing, and it did what was expected. All right, so that's what I'm saying, that with the banks itself, there's multiple ways that these other ones could potentially drop. All right, but for the short term, a little relief bounce is expected. At least that's what I'm expecting for them, especially after a drop like that. Short sellers from up here will be covering very soon, and if we open up higher, they're going to cover some more, and prices are going to rise. Okay, so that's my thoughts on the banks. Now, the next sector that I want to share with you, I think this one is going to do really well, especially if the inflation report turns out really good. All right, and that's the crypto sector. That is BITC, no, BITX, I mean. All right, and with this one, I think it's going to go. Keep this one in your radar. BTC filled its gap below at 77,000. And this one has a structure, an ascending triangle that broke out at 1 p.m. All right, and they closed near the highs. With this thing, like ideally, I would expect the price target to be at around 39 or 40. But because of the inflation report, I think there is going to be a massive surge. And that's typically what happens whenever there is good data with the crypto market. Like, if the inflation report comes out at like 2.7 and the market likes it, all of the indices are going to have a little jump, but there is going to be significantly more money flowing into BTC and alts. Okay, so keep that in mind for tomorrow and for Thursday. That's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button. As always, I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 8 p.m. Central Time. So definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Paul and Guman at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns only. And I will see all of you in tomorrow night's video.